Good morning to you all. Myself Shreya, and today we are going to continue on the topic nutrition in plants. So in our previous video we had talked about the nutrition and the modes of nutrition, and in this video we are going to start with the photosynthesis. So now let us continue. So firstly, what is photosynthesis? It is a process in which the plants make their own food, or if you are going to go in the technical definition, it is photosynthesis is the process in which the plants, in the presence of sunlight, makes its own food using the raw materials carbon dioxide, water, and carbon dioxide and water. So let us see that how, and let us understand the process of photosynthesis in much detail. So firstly, let us start. So as you can see, I have just drawn a rough diagram of a sunflower plant, and here you can see the leaves. Do you know that the leaves are very essential in the process of photosynthesis? Actually, do you know why? If I am going to tell you one fact about the leaves, you are going to just understand it why. Actually, leaves are often called as the kitchen of the plant. So the leaves are often called as the kitchen of the plant. Why? Okay, what does your mother do in the kitchen? She makes the food. Something like that, the leaves also make the food for the plant. That's why the leaf is often called as the kitchen of the plant, or even the food factory of the plant. Now, what happens is that there are some raw materials needed in the process of photosynthesis. Like we need some ingredients to make the food, something like that. The plant also needs the ingredients, or in technical term, raw materials. So what are the raw materials? So the plant needs the raw materials. Can you list some of the raw materials? Okay, let me help you out. So the first raw material is sunlight. It is very important. Then water, which is also known as H2O. Then carbon dioxide. Which is simply CO2. These are the raw materials needed by the plant. Now what happens is that let us see each one of them one by one in detail, and let's see how does the plant get them out. So firstly, let's start with the sunlight. Where does the sunlight come from? From the sun, of course. You see, so here I just drawn a rough diagram of the sun. So what happens is that the sunlight from it, so here the sunlight or the light energy is taken by the plant. But where? I simply means that the whole plant takes the sunlight. The flower, the stem, the leaf. No, of course not. The leaf takes the sunlight. Now, how does it take the sunlight? With the help of chlorophyll. Okay, so have you ever noticed that most of the plants, they have the green leaves? the leaves are green in color. So, but I have a question for you. Some leaves are also red, purple, yellow in color. Why is that so? Why are some leaves of other color? Does they don't contain the chlorophyll? Actually, let us understand that with an example. Okay. So let's say that you have a paper, and on that paper, if you will drop some yellow paint, so you see yellow color, right? And after this, if you were to drop black color on it, what is going to happen? Would you be able to see yellow color? No, you are simply going to see black color, not yellow, right? Same like this, what happens is that in some plants there are some other pigment which overshadow the color of chlorophyll. Simply like the black color overshadowing the yellow color in our case. Yes, something like that. So, the plant contains the chlorophyll, but it is overshadowed by some other pigments. Now let us continue and let us talk about this chlorophyll in much more details. So, as we had already seen that the chlorophyll is the green pigment. Chlorophyll, which is a green pigment, sorry. So the chlorophyll is green pigment which is present in the leaves, as we know, and it is chloroplast. Okay. What is this chloroplast? Let us talk about that as well. Chloroplast. Don't you think that the name sounds similar with the chlorophyll? Actually, yes. So what happens is that the chloroplast is the part of the plant cell. Yes, the part of the plant cell which contains chlorophyll. Yes, so the chlorophyll, like the house of the chlorophyll, is the chloroplast. So, you see that it contains the chlorophyll and it is the part of some plant cells. Yes, some plant cells, not all. So always remember that all the plant cells which is present in leaf, it is not very sure that they all are going to contain the chloroplast. Some of them contains the chloroplast. So it is just a part or an organelle of some plant cells, right? And what is the special thing about chloroplast? It contains chlorophyll. So, it contains chlorophyll, as you see. So, the chloroplast contains the chlorophyll. Simple. Now, as you see that the plants in the leaves, there are chloroplast. In them, there are chlorophyll. Now you know that why do we need to study about chlorophyll? How it is important in the process of photosynthesis? Now, always remember that the chlorophyll is very, very, very essential for the process of photosynthesis. Yes, without chlorophyll, the plants can't do the process of photosynthesis. So, how it is important? It is important because it captures the sunlight. Yes. So the sunlight is captured or it is just taken by the chlorophyll. So let us just write out here as well. So sunlight is taken by chlorophyll in leaves. So in the leaves, right? So the sunlight is taken by the chlorophyll, which is present in leaves mostly. You see, mostly this other plants of the other parts of plant also contain chlorophyll. Actually, the cactus plant do, but we are going to go on that in fun facts. But for now, let us just hold on. So most of the plants have the chlorophyll in their leaves. Okay? So what happens? That the leaves captures the sunlight. Now, do you know that if you're going to zoom in a plant cell, what you're going to see? So if you're going to zoom in the plant cell, you are going to see the chloroplast, right, containing the chlorophyll around, many you can say the chloroplast. There are, many plant cells in the leaves which contains the chloroplast. And after this, what happens is that the water, it is taken by the roots. We simply know that very well, right? So the roots, it takes the water. It takes the water. And also it takes the minerals. Minerals? Yes. So minerals are also taken by the plant by the help of roots. So the water here is taken by the roots. You know that we are also going to study how does the root takes the water, but in later chapters in the transportation in plants we are going to study about that. So there is a tissue called phloem which takes the water. Okay, so we are going to study about them, phloem, xylem, right, and a lot. So first let us study this. So the water is taken by the roots. After this, what happens? The carbon dioxide. Now when it comes to the carbon dioxide, again the leaves takes the carbon dioxide. How? Okay, let us zoom in a plant cell. So when you do that and when you zoom in the plant cells, the plant cells actually they are rectangular in shape. So if you're going to see them, they are something like this. And there are some holes as well. Holes, like they say the tiny pores there, and it is also here are some there are also some smaller things. What is this? Let us just understand. Okay, so this you see here, this thing, the space, it is actually stomata. So this thing is stomata. Okay. And you see these circles which I had just drawn? You see that they are something like the guards, right? They are like on the at the side of the stomata you see are the tiny pores which is present in the leaf surface. So at the side of the stomata there are some circles which I had drawn. What are they? They are guard cells. So they are guard cells. Guard cells. Yes. Something like they guard the stomata. So there are guard cells which surrounds the stomata. And you know that stomata can't be seen by our naked eyes, right? Now, what happens next? So, as you see that here are the guard cells, here is the stomata. So what happens is that the stomata, the tiny openings, something like our nostrils, these holes, something like that. The leaves also have stomata and they act similar like our nostrils, right? These holes. So, I think you had simply guessed stomata is the small pores in which the plant takes, from which the plant takes the carbon dioxide. Yes, the carbon dioxide. And it also releases oxygen. We are going to see how. So, then we had also studied that the carbon dioxide, it is taken by stomata, which is again present in leaves. Simple, right? Now, as we had seen how the plant takes the raw material, let's dig deeper in that what happens actually. So, actually this whole process of photosynthesis, it can be just written in simpler manner. Something like this. Carbon dioxide or CO2 plus H2O, which is water. Okay, let me write down here. It's carbon dioxide, right? Plus water, okay? So carbon dioxide plus water it produces carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate molecules that are sugar or glucose, you can also say. So sugar and glucose, sugar plus oxygen or O2, oxygen is produced. Now you see that with the help, this process takes place with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll. This whole thing is the process of photosynthesis. So this thing is photosynthesis. Now, I hope that it is very clear, and now let us understand this in much detail. How does it happen? How does the carbon dioxide, the hydrogen, that is H2O, which is the water simply. So how does the carbon dioxide and water with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll becomes sugar and oxygen? Or sugar, you can also say it as a simple carbohydrate molecule. Actually, sugar, starch, they both are actually, you can say that a type of carbohydrate. So, that simply means that the plant, what is the goal of the plant? The goal of the plant is to obtain energy, right? So, the plant needs to obtain the energy. And gives energy. So carbohydrate is, as you know, energy giving nutrient, right? So carbohydrate is need to be obtained. So just focus here what happens. So actually the carbohydrate is made up of some things. So you know that the carbon plus hydrogen plus oxygen generates carbohydrate. So it makes the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, as you can guess by name, hydrate. So the carbohydrate, as you see, that carbon, hydrate, hydrogen, and as well as oxygen. So these are the three materials which makes up the carbohydrate. Now just focus here. Carbon dioxide, yes. Hydrogen, water, yes. And oxygen is simply taken by respiration. Actually it is just another word for the breathing, right? So like we breathe, the plants as well. So like we take the oxygen, gives out the carbon dioxide. The plants to breathe oxygen or take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Actually it is just the photosynthesis, it overshadows the respiration, and there is very misconception here that the plants take the oxygen and give out the carbon dioxide. No, not all the living organism takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. Okay, so simple like this. The plants also breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide like us, and it is also carried by nostrils, plant nostrils, stomata. Now you see, let us understand how does this process takes place. Let us start from the starting. So what happens that the roots transport water to the leaves. Okay, so the roots transport water to the leaves, and the leaves, now what does the leaf have? The leaf have H2O, which is another name of the water, right? So leaf has H2O. Now it don't need this O, okay, which is oxygen, okay, one atom of oxygen. Why do we call water as H2O? There are two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, right? So what does the plant need to do is that it need to break the molecule of the, of the water, right? So the water molecule H2O, right? It breaks through, so the plant cell, the chlorophyll, needs to break the molecule of the water. Now it is not very easy process, right? How? Actually, it is a molecule and it has a very strong bond. So it can't be broken, right? So for breaking the H2O or the water molecule, it needs to get some energy. And from where does it get? Sun, of course. So the sun gives the light energy to the leaf, to the chlorophyll technically. So the chlorophyll gains the energy, becomes powerful and breaks the water molecule. So the oxygen you see is then released. Yes, that's how. So as we had seen that the photosynthesis, in that process, water plus carbon dioxide makes the oxygen and carbohydrates. So oxygen is the byproduct. We had seen how it releases when the plant oxygen is released and the hydrogen is taken by the plant. Now what does the plant do with this hydrogen? It generates adenosine triphosphate. You will say, what? Adenosine triphosphate? Okay, let me just write it down for you. So, adenosine triphosphate. Now you will say it is a very big name, isn't it? Okay, you know that the short and the simple form of this adenosine triphosphate is ATP. So it is actually, simply in simple words, it is ATP. What is this ATP? It is like the energy currency, right? So ATP is like a very energetic molecule and it is like the energy currency. Like we use the currency rupees, dollars, yen, right? Something like this. ATP is energy currency of the, energy currency simply. So the plant, what does it do? It takes the hydrogen which is taken by the water, right? H2O, oxygen is released. H2, that is the two hydrogen atoms are left with the plant. So it uses that to produce ATP or adenosine triphosphate and also NADPH. Now you will say, what is this NADPH? Actually, NADPH is something like a brother, a cousin brother of ATP, right? It is also the energy currency. And you see here H, it is hydrogen. Yes, the hydrogen. It represents the hydrogen. So ATP and NADPH are like the energy currency of the plant. But what I think right now is that we should continue on this in our next video, as the time limit, the time of this video is getting very high. So we are going to continue on this beautiful topic of photosynthesis in our next video. And for now, thank you for watching this video and have a nice day ahead. If you want any improvement in me, so you can comment it in the comment box. Thank you.